Hey, what's up everyone, Ollie here. So, today we're comparing some of the most popular MagSafe batteries that you can get right now for the iPhones. We have 3 batteries here. There was also a 4th that we were going to get, the RAV Power one. But the RAV Power one, I saw it online maybe for like a week, 2 weeks, and then it just disappeared. So we only have 3. We have the Apple one, we have the Anker one, and we have the Belkin one. So the price for these do vary. So if I look at the prices quickly, the Apple one is $99. The Belkin one is $40. And the Anker one is $55. So yeah, the price does vary quite a bit. Maybe we should actually organize them so that they're cheapest to most expensive. So we have cheapest on this side, most expensive on this side. We'll start with the cheapest, the Belkin one. So if I look at the specs for the Belkin one, 2,500 milliamp hours, a USB-C port which also allows pass-through. You can also get 18 watts of output with this USB-C port. So you can use it as a normal MagSafe battery, but you can also charge other devices on it, so it has input and output at the same time. You get up to 7.5 watts of charging through MagSafe. There is also a battery level indicator on this side here, which is pretty nice, so you can see how much battery you've got without actually having to put the device on your phone. It comes with a USB-C cable as well, so does the Anker one. The Apple one doesn't come with any cable whatsoever. According to Belkin, this power bank provides an additional 50% of power to the standard iPhone 12, which translates to around 8.5 extra hours of video playback. I actually really like this one. It is made from plastic, but there is rubber on this side, and I like how it's just black. It's simple. The battery indicator is nice as well. Simple logo, not really flashy or anything. Actually, if I get my iPhone 12, so we have 2 phones here. So we have the iPhone 12 Pro, and then we also have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So I use the genuine leather case from Apple on my iPhone. I just like using this case, it's one of my favorites. And when it comes to actually attaching it, really as simple as that. You get the notification that it's charging, of course, and I actually feel like it looks pretty good with a black leather iPhone case because it's black. When it's actually attached to the phone, it's also pretty strong. It's not going to fall off or slide off easily. I'd be surprised if you can sort of just accidentally knock this. I feel like you won't be able to because it is pretty solid on there. You can see I'm holding it by the battery bank. Not really had any issues with it. So yeah, that's the Belkin one. That's the cheapest one. Actually, let's also test it out on the 12 Pro Max so you can see the size difference. 12 Pro Max, yeah, just looks like a little backpack on the back of a phone. One other thing to consider as well, when you're using any MagSafe accessories and you're using a leather case, I don't know if you can see, but there are some sort of marks and residue that just happens naturally from using magnets and leather. You know, leather does just wear over time. That's something to take into consideration if you use leather cases on your iPhone. Okay, so next up, let's look at the Anker battery. So Anker says that this is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Even though it's 5,000 milliamp hours, according to their website, according to their stats, they say that it can only charge an iPhone 12 up to 95%. Which is quite interesting considering that it's supposed to be 5,000 milliamp hours, but that's just according to what they say on the website. This also has a USB-C port on the bottom and a button to check the battery level. You can charge this at 11 watts and actually charging an external device, so you can also charge an external device through the USB. You don't actually have to use the magnet. That is around 10 watts, but the actual MagSafe output when you have it connected to an iPhone is only 5 watts. So it is a bit less compared to the Belkin and the iPhone. So that's one thing to take into consideration, but it's in between when it comes to pricing. The design of this, again, is pretty simple. I think I still personally prefer the Belkin design, but this is quite nice and rounded. It's made from plastic. It does have a sort of I don't want to say rubbery, but it is almost like a soft touch sort of texture. It's pretty nice, I like it. Again, quite just simple and minimalistic looking. If we put it on the iPhone, the magnet again is, I think, pretty strong. I mean, you can sort of slide it off, but you've really got to knock it. But it stays on there, pretty solid, not an issue really. I don't think, again, many people will have issues having this just come off their phone. We'll also try it on the 12 Pro Max again. There we are. Yeah, not an issue. I think when you don't have a case, yeah, I can see why people would say that it feels a bit slippery, or MagSafe batteries feel a bit slippery if you don't have a case, because of the sort of texture on the back of the iPhone 12 Pros. They both have a sort of satin texture. But again, I don't know, I think you'd really have to move it out of the way to lose it. I don't think many people have too many issues losing it. But hey, everyone's different. I can see if you're putting it into a pocket, it could disconnect. That could be something to take into consideration, something to think about. So like I said, the Anker one can charge around 90 up to 95% on the iPhone 12. And on the website, they're quoting an additional 17 hours of battery life. So the Belkin one is 8.5 hours and this is 17 hours. So yeah, you're getting pretty much double the battery life out of the Anker one compared to the Belkin one. And then next up we have the Apple MagSafe battery. So if we look at what Apple are saying on their website, they don't actually have the milliamp hours on their website, but people are saying, or sources are saying, that it's 1460 milliamp hours. And Apple do though say on the website that it can charge an iPhone 12 up to 60%, iPhone 12 mini up to 70%, and an iPhone 12 Pro Max up to 40%. They haven't listed the video playback hours, but if it's around 60%, which is just a bit more than the Belkin one, you can probably expect around 10 hours of extra video playback with the Apple MagSafe battery. When it comes to the design of this one, I know Apple obviously like to go for all of their sort of white look, which makes sense, it's their sort of iconic look. But if you have a black phone or a space grey phone or anything like that, I feel like it does just sort of look a bit out of place. That's the only thing. It doesn't really look as nice as maybe having a black one on your phone. Having a black one just looks a bit more understated. But then I can also see why Apple have done this. You know, you have their logo on the back. People want to know that it's an Apple one. Apple want other people to know that it's an Apple one. So yeah, I can understand that. You do of course get sort of charge through, pass through, power pass through. So there is a lightning port on the bottom. The other thing with the Apple one is that you don't get a cable. So you are going to have to use the cable that you get with your iPhone to charge it. Don't think that should be too much of an issue, considering obviously it is lightning already. When it comes to seeing battery life, the only way you can see battery life of the MagSafe one is actually through the phone itself. It doesn't have any buttons or anything like the Anker one does or the Belkin one does. You can only see the battery life through the phone itself. When it comes to magnet strength, again, it's just very similar to all the other ones. It's really not going to come off. You can just slip it off like all the other ones as well. But yeah, I don't think many people are going to have too many issues again with the sort of magnetic strength. We'll try it on the 12 Pro Max. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. But again, just something to think about. If you're someone who has very tight pockets and you're trying to fit this in a pocket, I can see why this would just slide off. So yeah, I really don't think, as long as you're careful enough, I really don't think you're going to lose them. And considering the size of each of these batteries, they're all pretty much exactly the same when it comes to actual size. The thickness is what differs quite a bit. So the Apple one is the thinnest one, the Belkin one is second, and then the Anker one is the thickest. The Anker one is definitely one thick boy. It is pretty thick, isn't it? But the Anker one gives you pretty much double the battery life compared to the other two. And it's also half the price of the Apple one. The Apple one is $100, £100. It is expensive for what it is. If you're looking for value for money, I think the Belkin is my favorite because it is also the cheapest, and I feel like the design is also one of the nicest. If you're looking for the most battery life, you go for the Anker one for sure. It's a bit thicker, but it works great, it looks great. And then the Apple one is literally just, if you want to stick to Apple, you're happy with Apple, and you don't mind paying the extra sort of Apple tax, you could say, then I think the Apple one is a good one to go for. But yeah, my favorite one is the Belkin. It's the one I would go for. It's really up to you guys which one you like. It depends on your budget and the look of them, but these are definitely the three best options right now. I also wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service which protects you online by encrypting the data you send and receive as you surf the web, meaning no one can monitor your activity whilst you're browsing. With your data encrypted, targeted ads become a thing of the past. With Surfshark, you're able to bypass geo-blocking. So if you like watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, and you want to access other content from other countries, you can do that with Surfshark. If you're searching for protection online, whilst also having the freedom to watch whatever you like, whenever you like, click the link in the description or use the promo code OLIA to get 83% off and get 3 months of service for free. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.